a recreational. You go out and you drink a few beers. There's nothing wrong with that. I tell people this all the time. I wish that I was able to go out and have a beer too. I wish, I wish that I was able to go have a Modelo. But be responsible. Oh no, thank you. I'm good. I can't though. So like I tell people this all the time when people come to me and they ask me, dude, I want to stop, but is it worth it? And I'm like, dude, I'm freaking living proof. I'm telling you, yes, it's worth it. Yeah. Yes, my life got so much better when I gave up drugs, when I gave up alcohol. My life got so much better. And I'm telling these people, I'm telling them like I want to freaking grab them by the hair and yell at them and say, dude, yes, it gets better.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Hypocritical AF podcast. I am your host, Albert Fig, and in this week's special LA secret location, we got a good one right here. We got one that I'm really excited to dive deep into, and it's Tony, also known as the Tough Gym on Instagram. What's up, man? Nice to meet you.
What's up?
Yeah. Everything's solid right here, man. You know, it's first I want to say shout out Nativo. He's the one that kind of coordinate this one. He's the one that kind of put this together, and I was telling him like, yo, like I'm doing the LA trip right now. We're doing a bunch of podcasting right now. And I was like, man, I had two people like that like literally, fell out 48 hours before, and we had stuff planned out and stuff booked and everything, you know what I'm saying? And he was just like, man, I got a few people out there we can connect with. If you're interested, and I was like, bro, I'm down. He was telling me about yourself and, your journey and what you're pushing and the message that you're trying to push out. And I was like, that literally aligns with my shit right here. And I'm going to dive deep a little bit more with the meaning. And I feel like it falls into what you're doing too. And so when he told me about that, I was like, let's set it up, let's get it locked in.
Yeah. I did a podcast with him about 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. It was cool, man. I think me and him, he told me we were one of the longest. We went like 2 hours, 3 hours. It was crazy. Like, bro, I didn't even realize it. We were talking, and the next thing you know, he's like, dude, we've been talking for like 2 hours. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah, he told me that.
I mean, you just, when you're deep in a conversation about whatever you're talking about, and it's going smooth. It just flows. Yeah. And the stuff he was telling me, it's like, it's just we're talking about just life in general, and everything was like. And he told me, he's like, dude, we're here like 2 hours. I was like, no way. He's like, yeah,
for real.
Like, that's good to me.
That's cool. The thing about podcasting. Thing that we appreciate the most is that like you can flow with it, especially if the combos are going smooth and everything, right? I try to make it like more like getting away from like the interview type, you know what I'm saying? Because even though we're getting to know each other, like right now, for example, first time meeting and everything, what I think that I like about it is that we're able to just flow, you know what I'm saying? And I want to start with, if that's okay, this is, like I said, this is our first time officially meeting and getting to know each other, and we're out here downtown LA, like downtown LA.
This is downtown LA.
This is downtown.
The bridge is right there.
Yeah, like literally right here.
The bridge that all you guys were going crazy over. I don't know why. You guys were going crazy over that. Yeah.
The Netflix shows, everything is right here. But in a strange way, it felt kind of cool to be like, yo, this is what we're meeting up. It's not gonna be like, even though I just came from Hollywood and everything, it's not gonna be like Burbank. Yeah. It ain't gonna be, you feel me, Melrose. Like, we're right here in the heart of this. So, question on this one: where are you from originally?
I'm from Orange County. I'm from Orange County.
OC, yeah.
Born and bred, Orange County. A lot of people mistake me and they think, I'm from LA, I'm from that. I got love for everybody and I got no hate, but I'm from Orange County, Santana.
Yeah. I know a few. I got a few family people that from there and everything, and then a few people that used to be in the military, and so I know a few people who came from over there too. So it's connected. You'll be surprised how
how.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see them everywhere and everything.
But I got love for LA. I got love for Orange County. I got love for Inland Empire. I got love for San Bernardino.
Yeah.
I personally love Orange County, and I'm born and bred in Santana, but I couldn't afford to live there.
Especially now, right?
Yeah. So when I was able to buy a house, dude, I had to move out of Orange County, and I bought my house where I bought my house now.
Yeah.
And but I still get love to the city that bred me,
That's
the city
amazing.
that made me, the city that showed me how to live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my parents still live there. My brother still lives there. My sister still live there. My family still live there. I still go there, so it's not like I'm gone, No, my whole life is still there. You know what
Amazing. I mean? Yeah. I think that's really cool because we, a lot of times, someone might look at you like we were talking about a little bit off air. They might look at you and be like, oh, damn, where he from and everything, right? And we kind of get like a notion of like, I wonder, or he must have this background and everything, which I'm sure we'll dive into and everything. But what's cool is that you say like, from Santana, from the OC and everything, like, and you're like, you're here, you know what I'm saying? You're not like out there doing some other crazy shit or being in a whole different state and everything, you know what I'm saying? I think that's solid, man. So born and raised in OC, and so what was what was that like? Matter of fact, give me like a time frame, like years, like.
Well, I'm a product. I always tell people this, but I'm a product of the '90s.
Yeah,
before social media, before anything was out there, when house parties were hitting, when gangs were gangs, gang banging was gang banging. When drinking 40s Mickeys was drinking 40s Mickeys. Now these people are drinking White Claws and Trulies and all kinds of other stuff. You know what I mean? So I was a product of the '90s, and that's where I was born and bred, and and I loved it. And Santa Ana, especially, growing up in Santa Ana, in the 90s was brutal, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98. I fell into drugs like 99, and kind of everything after that was kind of like hit and miss, blur. But, just typical life, man. Typical life in Orange County, Santana, you know what I mean?
Yeah. 90s.
90s, yes.
90s
yes,
type
sir.
of thing, man.
Yeah.
It's, those years are crucial. Like I was born early 90s, right? So it's tough for me to be like, I grew up in that, I was a baby, especially, you were a kid, you'd be looking at me like you're a little baby at that time frame, And so it's weird because even though I didn't necessarily grow up in the 90s, I feel like I'm drawn to it because my family was, kind of grew up in the, same thing. Maybe I don't know if it's being from like our background, being Hispanic and being Mexican and everything. We just a product of our environment, but I feel like I gravitate more towards the 90s than I do like early 2000s and everything, right?
I don't even know what happened in the 2000s.
Yeah, it's a blur. Like you said, it's a blur, right?
Something happened in the 2000s, but I don't see like no trend or nothing coming out from the 2000s. I mean, you still got these kids out here. My son is listening to the music that I listen to. My son is rocking Snoop Dogg shirts. My son is rocking NWA shirts. My son is listening to Tupac. My son's listening to Bretton Wood. I'm like, dude, and I'm like, son, where's your music? Oh, we don't have none. I mean, yeah, because your generation sucks.
It's like it tastes.
Yeah.
I'm the same. I'm still bumping my old school music. I'm still bumping the stuff that my uncles and my mom, my tias. I'm still bumping everything that all the primos used to bump that we're still bumping today because it still hits, it still resonates.
Of course.
And it is different. Like, music's a little bit different compared to, what it used to be back in the day. So I definitely understand that. But you said something about the 90s and everything, right? Question, you ever been, Sublime?
Sublime, right? I don't speak no margaritas. Yes.
There's one of their tracks that it's called April 26, 1992, I think, April 26. It was like there was like anarchies and riots in the streets, and like they talk about it in the song. It's kind of slipping my memory right now. But do you remember any of that time frame?
No. Not like what, like
just like all that shit that was going down in the streets, like where the riots and all that stuff going down.
I remember like the riots, but at that the riots I think happened in 92. No, I was like 12 or 11 years old at that time, so I don't really remember when all the riots happened here in LA. I remember seeing it on TV and stuff like that, but as far as experiencing it, no, I don't. That was a little bit.
Because I always wondered about that because I don't know a lot of people who could say like who was right here during this time frame and everything, And like I said, I got family all over SoCal, and that originally came up from SoCal. Eventually, they migrated, because I'm from like the Central Coast area, like same thing like Nativo. We have the same area code, 831, and eventually we all like migrated over there. But majority of my family primarily was down south, San Diego, San Isidro, Fallbrook, LA, OC too, you know what I'm saying? Okay. And I still got family in San Isidro and Fallbrook and Tijuana and everything, right? So my family's still out here and everything. And but I never really get to hear about or talk to them about those stories.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? About the early 90s in this area. You know what I'm saying? Just so it's like, hey, it is what it is.
It is what it is. It happened.
Yeah.
But I mean, I remember them, but like as far as I wasn't active. No, man.
But you said like late 90s, that's when you started.
Yeah, like 95, 96, 93, 94, 95, yeah.
What was going on through that time frame?
I grew up in like I said, Santa Ana. Am I from a neighborhood? Yes, I'm from a neighborhood. The older generation was a little bit older than me. So yeah, that's when I started, going to the streets, hanging out with the homies, hanging out with the hood, going to the parties, doing things, that at my age, I don't think a 15-year-old should be doing, smoking, drugs, drinking, doing, meth, speed. Back then, I mean, I don't even know what these kids do now, but you know, we used to, you know, huff paint, sniff paint, things like that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it still goes on to like today, but maybe not to that full extent.
Yeah,
you know? It still goes on to this day though. Like, yeah, that's
you know, but yeah, we were active. We were active in the streets. We were cruising Bristol. We used to cruise a street called Bristol and Santa Ana, Main Street. You know, ditch school,
wild times.
Party. Oh yeah, party. Ditching parties.
Yeah.
Ditching parties were the best.
And so while this was going on, you said you were in your teens, like, right?
Yeah, yes.
Teens, 12, 15, more or less.
Yeah, 14, 15, 16, 17, 16. Yes.
That's like the most, you know, influential times, especially you considering the street stuff and everything, right?
Yeah.
And you touched on it, like I said, a little bit, and you started talking about like getting into like drugs and everything like that, right?
Yeah. I was more into drugs than I was drinking at that age because, of course, getting, you know, alcohol and stuff was just a little bit more harder. Was it impossible? No.
Yeah.
Drugs were easier. You know what I mean? Coke, speed, weed.
Yeah.
You know, was a lot easier than actually getting beer. You know, so you know a lot of times we just get high or whatever. Was it a problem? No. At that point in time in my life, not even, you know what I mean? Because, you know, I mean, you know, smoke a joint or whatever, and then you're freaking high for, you know, for 12 hours. All passed out, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't consider myself having a habit or a drug problem at such a young age. You know what I mean? It was just recreational and fun, you know, experimenting. You know, just doing drugs.
Yeah.
You know?
And so during that time frame, like, I know, you know, to give a little bit of background on me and my family, I always talk about this thing called like perspective when it comes to like alcohol abuse or drug, you know, substance abuse too. And family members, I always feel like you see, especially if you're kids, right? You get to see two ways perspective on it. So if you have, let's say, an uncle or a father that's on drugs or maybe alcoholic, right? The kids, they get to look at it two ways. And perspective on it is that they either become what they're seeing or they go away from that because of what they're seeing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And for me, like I said, I never got into drugs heavy only because I saw how much it was affecting my family. I do drink, you feel me? Like I do like to drink. I'm not trying to, you know, paint myself like I'm anything, but, I like to drink. And that's like something like in my family too, that we kind of have a problem with and everything. And so I know like more or less kind of how to, like what you said too, I never let it take control, right?
Yeah.
On my thing too and everything. But I'm wondering like was there like a certain like point or like a breaking point when you knew like, all right, you know what I'm saying? The drugs may be getting a little too much and everything.
Well, I'm going to touch back a little bit on what you said about, you know, what you said it was in your family, you know, you seen what it did to your family. So therefore it kind of like made you step back.
Yeah.
Drugs and alcohol been in my family. You know what I mean? My dad was a big part of my early life when I was 8 years old. You know, maybe we'll get into that. Or, you know, I'll tell you a quick what happened. But I witnessed a lot of things with my dad. My dad was a heavy drug user. He was a heavy drinker. Drugs actually took my dad. My dad actually died from an overdose. In 88, 89. He actually died from an overdose. So you would think, since drugs took away my dad, that it would stir me away from, you know, like you. That's why there's two different sides. You know, you saw what it did to your family. Therefore, you kind of were like, hey, you know, I saw what it did to my family, but I was like, hey, but in a different way. I'm like, hey, let's go see what all the fuss is about.
Okay, you know? That perspective I was talking about, you know, maybe get into anything.
So drugs actually took my father away from me. Which really hurt me a lot, you know, because I used to, you know, my dad chose drugs over us, you know, me and my little brother. So, you know, therefore that's, you know, I got into drugs, you know. I got into drinking at a young age, you know, because my dad never really, he used to be like, you know, most Mexican parents, right, are mijo, go give me the beer, right?
Right.
When you're a little kid. And then, can I open it? Take a little drink. You know, my dad was I remember I was 4 years old, and he used to do that to me, you know. Mijo, go give me a beer. I'd go in the refrigerator, crack it open, and take a little drink, and then everybody would be like, mira, so cute. Look at him taking a drink. So, you know, I used to do that, you know, and so I used to tell people, you know, I've been drinking since I was 2.
You
know, because I have been.
Like Smokey when he said that on Friday. I've been smoking since I was 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some realness to that.
I have.
Yeah.
You know?
I get that. I can say that too because I got like we got like, I got pictures. Well, my family, we got pictures of like my tias and my sisters, like them like reaching for beers and everything, and then getting the photos because, like I said, they think it's funny, right? Like it's funny to see that and everything. But it's also like, I'm not gonna lie too. I'm not gonna lie and say like I wasn't laughing when I saw the photo.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? The shit is funny. But like it does start to develop those things and putting those things in our heads and everything. And it got me thinking too. Like now that I became a father, like I only got one kid, so I don't got a lot, but I only have my 2-year-old. He's 2.5 now, my little son. Now I'm thinking like, damn, like now I kind of subconsciously I watch even if I'm drinking around him. Yeah. Like now at times I'll catch myself like I'll get a beer right here and he'll be chilling like this. I'm like, oh shit, let me. You know what I'm saying? I start to feel bad a little bit. I was like, fuck, let me. I just don't want him to get that norm of thinking that this is cool to just be right here.
My son used to call it daddy soda. Cause my oldest one did see me when I used to drink and you know, do my stuff in my head. So when we would pass by, we'd see the billboards, and my son would be, look at daddy soda. Because I used to always have my poison was Bud Light. I don't know where this Modelo came from. Bud Light. And Modelo's is everywhere now, man.
That was my grandpa's choice.
I was a Bud Light guy.
My grandpa's thing was Bud Light too. But I'm not. I mean, I like Modelos. You know, Modelo time foods. Like I like them too. I don't want to like I said, paint it, make it seem like I'm not that too. It's the Bud Lights, the Coors Lights. I mean, I had one of my uncles who his thing was Budweisers. Yeah, pound the fuck out of them. You know what I'm saying? And when he was growing up, he was telling me it was all about King Cobras. So it was like, okay, King Cobras and then Budweisers. And you know what the weird thing about this shit is now? Now he's like drinking wine. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Because he didn't want to give it to drinking, but you know he can't do all that stuff anymore. So he's doing. I remember King Cobras in my time were 99 cents. Damn. 99 cents, dude. Yeah. It was crazy. 99 cents for a 40 or 32 ounce 40. Depends on what liquor store you went to. I feel like some places you can still probably get that, you know, depending on where you go.
Here, probably in LA somewhere. Yeah, I'm about to say, you'll probably find in the hood.
you'll probably find a little 32 ounce somewhere too like that. But to go back to like I said, to the sobriety and everything. So you're completely sober from just everything?
Everything, bro. Everything. Just high off life.
Yeah. And how many years has it been?
I got 9 years clean and sober.
9 years
August 28, 2013 was the last day that I said I took any type of drugs or anything. August 28, 2013, bro.
And so earlier too, you were saying that like it wasn't just like one specific type. You was like dabbling in a few things and everything.
My main thing, I used to do meth and coke.
Was the main thing?
Oh yeah, meth. Oof, nothing better than being up for 11 days on a sick one. I'm just playing, kids.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Drugs are bad.
Have you ever done? And like I said, I'm asking, but obviously you don't have to answer these things. But you ever did like the butane torches or like the whippets and stuff like that, or inhaling some of the stuff?
Oh, well, you're talking about like inhaling like pain or anything like that?
And stuff like
that.
Yeah.
Oh, I did all that. Yeah.
I never, because
that actually kills your brain. So when you do that, so kids, listen. So when you actually huff paint or you do the nitro, have you done it before?
No, I never done any of that.
There's a little buzzing sound, and it sounds like a helicopter. That's the noise you're hearing. I didn't know what that noise is. Yeah. It's your brain asking for oxygen because your brain's not getting oxygen. So there's a little noise, and you can hear it. Everybody hears it. It's called the helicopter because it goes when you're huffing pain or when you're. That's your brain asking. So you're killing oxygen to your brain. That's crazy.
I never knew that. Yeah.
That's freaking insane.
I only knew that recently because I didn't know that was the thing. I didn't know people were, I guess now they're inhaling butane torches. And that's like the thing that people are doing. Or I was listening to this podcast one time with Steve-O. He was saying like how he did like 100 CO2 pallet thingies a day.
Dang.
And I was like, God damn, like how does that, you know what I'm saying? So it throws me off with that. But also, I don't understand it, you know, because I've never done it or been a part of that.
I never did that.
But I think that's above you.
I think that's a white man's drink.
Yeah, it was.
I think that was a white man's drug. We stayed away from that. We just went for the gold paint at Walmart for 99 cents and the sock you had on.
But on one end, like I said, I can empathize on that, like the fact that they're going through that. I can empathize. I can't relate. I don't understand it, but that doesn't mean I can't empathize with that. You know what I'm saying?
I remember another drug that was kind of popular when I was kind of growing up. When I was like, they used to say cow manure or cow shit, I guess.
Really?
You burn it or you let it dry and then you burn it. And I guess because have you ever seen when a cow or when a bull takes a crap, there's like, it's hot or
it's
something.
Just there.
So I don't know, but from what I heard back in back there, like if you get the bull crap or bullshit and you burn it or you do something to it, you smoke that. Damn. So I was like, whoever came up with that, hey.
Give that man a raise.
No, but who made the guy think of that? You know what I mean? Hey, let's go smoke. But no, that was another drug. I never did that. But I mean, come on, there's drugs. There's all kinds of drugs as long as they make your mind go crazy.
I don't know. That just, like I said, goes to show you how much more I don't know about this shit. Because if you would have told me like manure, cow manure, I would think it's like people stepping on them or something like that. But actually, you know what people are doing now? You know, people are starting to put that in coffee. You know that shit?
What?
Like shit, cow shit or cat shit too. They're putting it in coffee, like fermenting it and putting it inside coffee.
For what? For high?
I don't even know. Hey, maybe they want that caffeine rush or something like that. You know? Maybe they want that caffeine rush.
You want a caffeine rush? Look, do a speedball. All right, get a bunch of. This is what we used to do in county. Get a bunch of coffee, like this much.
Yeah.
Get this much water. Mix it up. Get it as a ball, and then drink it. If you want to rush that bad, you guys try that, you guys, and you guys will never go to Starbucks again. This much coffee grind, this much water.
You don't. No need for Starbucks after that. Damn, that's like a straight like an espresso shot.
Called the speedball, county style.
That's like you were talking about that little speedball action. That's like old school. That's like you got to know some shit to, you know what I mean, to know what they're talking about.
Some speedball crap.
Some speedball crap. But it's cool. Not okay. I don't know if it's cool, but like hearing those things that you're talking about, like all the stuff that you know back in the day, the throwback stuff they used to do and everything. And especially like when I hear about those stories, like I said, Steve-O talking about those fucking 100 of those CO2 tanks and everything,
that's crazy,
and everything, right? I wonder, like I get to thinking on that too, when it's like, how much, like, what has to get there? Like, what exactly
just
got there? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was it that got you to that point? You know, to that you were getting, you know, maybe to extremes or looking at it like, damn, I think I'm doing the most. You know what I'm saying?
Just not being comfortable with life, bro. I would think, you know, not being able to succeed. Like I wasn't able to like hold the job down. I wasn't able to get what I knew in life. I knew in life, like I was not supposed to be a millionaire. I knew that I wasn't supposed to be the best in the world. You know, I just knew I was supposed to just do something in life, live comfortable and do it. And I just wasn't able to ever grasp that. Therefore, so I always turned to drugs. I always turned to alcohol. You know what I mean? So I never like, I was never happy with life, you know, while I was growing up as a teen or as a 20-year-old, whatever, you know. So I just depended on drugs and alcohol a lot. You know what I mean?
Was it just like suppress stuff?
Yeah, just to pass things over, just to help me, you know, go the next day, do it. So that's why, you know, and when you're doing drugs and when you're drinking or you're doing whatever you're doing, you just don't realize it's a problem.
Yeah.
Until you're actually drinking 20, 25 beers a day, you know, doing your coke, doing your speed, you know, and I mean, you just wake up one day, you know, I remember I woke up one day, I was about 31 years old. I woke up in my mom's garage, bro. I woke up in my mom's garage. I was 32 years old, 31 years old. I had nothing in my life. I had nothing going for me. And I was sleeping on my mom's garage in a busted couch. You know, I was sleeping on a couch like this, bro, in my mom's garage. And I'm a grown ass man.
Yeah.
You know, and I have nothing. But then when you think about it, you're like, well, what happened to the last 10 years? I don't know. Somewhere in between, I was drinking and doing drugs. You know what I mean?
Like it flew.
Yeah, it just flew by.
Yeah.
So you know how you say, you know, what gets you to the point is just every day doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You know,
I can, it's like, I get you. I guess, you know, from my point of view, trying to understand it too, I'm sure it feels something like an escape. The reason why I say escape too is because like it feels like you just want to get out of something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe it feels like you want to get out of something, but you're like both, you know, physically and mentally trapped. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing that I try to like empathize to and understand like where that's coming from, because it's, I guess, to correlate it to the podcast name, you know, Hypocritical AF. The reason why it's called Hypocritical as fuck, and the reason why, like I said, why I feel like it was a good time for me to talk to you and everything is because it goes back to my also old way of thinking. Back in the day, I was like, bro, like I used to be, I didn't look at life the same way as I do now. I used to look at life like this is a very small world, like ain't much going on, nothing
Nothing good.
Nothing really going on. Nothing to stay positive from. Like, what am I gonna go do? Like, I'm over here. I'm living in this little shitty area. I'm broke as fuck. You know what I mean? We're staying with my grandparents' house. It's like 14 of us living together in a 2-bedroom. What is there? What I gotta look forward to? You know?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Just so you're not happy with life. You're not just excited with what's going on. So therefore, you turn to drugs or you turn to alcohol. You turn, to help you. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's the way my life was. The way I was. It just was never satisfied. Even though I was working. But wasn't making good money. I wasn't doing anything I wanted to do in life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's also too, with that too, going back to the name, it's also, when I was younger, cause see, like me, I'm 30 right now. So when you're hearing with me, you saying like, you're pretty much like around the same age, it kind of hits a little different too, because back in the old school way of thinking, like I said, hypocritical as fuck, is that I remember used to being like, I never used to be on social media.
Yeah.
That wasn't, like, that just wasn't a thing for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially, like I said, growing up, it didn't make sense to me, cause I'd be like, hold on. So you're telling me, you guys post your location? You feel me? Like, hold on, you guys post what you're doing, what you're gonna be doing, and your plans. Like that's, and like that's, you're gonna get set up. You're gonna get got. You know what I mean? Or if the feds are watching, what are you doing? You know. So I used to think like that, and then like I said, fast forward now. It's funny as fuck because now I have a podcast. Now I do. You know what I mean? Now everything social media.
Social media is just. Like right now, we went to the toy drive. I was at the toy drive, and people were coming up to me and recognizing me and talking to me, and it's just crazy on social media. I'm the same way. I just started my social media account maybe 5-6 years ago. I started my TikTok like a year ago. I'm freaking blew up on TikTok. I have over almost 300,000 followers on TikTok, and almost 50,000 on Instagram. And I'm like, how the hell did this happen?
The reach,
the platform. The reach, what I mean? I'm like, how the hell did And I'm the same way. I would, if you would have told me 7 years ago, like, dude. They actually did. They told me like 7 years, 8 years ago, start an Instagram. I'm old school, homie. I'm old school. I ain't gonna start no social media.
That's me too.
I ain't gonna start no Instagram. I ain't gonna start no this. I ain't gonna start that. Now I'm like, I look like a 16-year-old hyena at the mall, with my phone in my hand all the time. Oh my God, what's trendy right now? And I'm like, sometimes I have to check myself. I'm like,
hold on, let me put this down.
You got a blue rag in your back pocket. Relax, you a homie, but therefore you're. Oh my God! And I'm like, all right, put my phone away.
Well, that's what, like I said, going back to the name, that's why it's a good fit because I agree with it too. Like I used to, bro, like I did when I finally did get an Instagram and just started making socials. I had my shit private for like years.
Yeah,
I was like, I make one and everything, kind of like stay in touch with like family, like all over the place and everything, but also. I could, put some pictures here and there, be funny. My shit was like, I just wanted to be funny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And then it was like, all right, I want to start venturing out in this media space and getting into, like I said, this podcasting stuff because I started to, well, first of all, I became a podcast of a fan before anything, you know what I'm saying? So I was listening to a bunch, diving in a bunch, and just like really trying to, not even trying, but like, finding what it is, and learning about more. And then eventually it got to a point where it was like, I want to do this myself and everything. And now, like I said, now we're able to do stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm making the trips out here to do everything like that. So there's definitely positives you could take away from everything. And I want to get to, like you said, the positives that you're pushing, that you, I guess, your message for all this. Cause, having gone through, and this is just, like I said, this is just a scope where, we're talking about drugs, but I'm sure that there's a whole nother another like I'm saying, scale we can get to. But your thing that you preach right now, and you said the last 9 years of sobriety, your thing is pushing forward. Your thing is positivity.
Yeah.
Your thing is like preaching that people can overcome some stuff and become sober and everything. My question for that too is, does it at all get like daunting? Meaning, like at any point, do you think like, damn, like this shit is like a little harder? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
than it gets to?
Dude, I was just speaking about this yesterday.
Yeah.
You are absolutely right. I get angry and I do sometimes I get frustrated because I'm living proof that being sober is beautiful. I'm living proof that if you have a drug problem, like you say, if you have a recreational, you go out and you drink a few beers, there's nothing wrong with that. I tell people this all the time. I wish that I was able to go out and have a beer or two. I wish, I wish that I was able to go have a Modelo. But be responsible. Oh no, thank you, I'm good. I can't though. So like I tell people this all the time when people come to me and they ask me, dude, I want to stop, but is it worth it? And I'm like, dude, I'm freaking living proof. I'm telling you, yes, it's worth it. Yeah. Yes, my life got so much better when I gave up drugs, when I gave up alcohol. My life got so much better. And I'm telling these people, I'm telling them like I want to freaking grab them by the hair and yell at them, say, dude, yes, it gets better. Yeah. And then the next week you see them all pedo or all drunk again. It's like, why do you come to me and ask me? You know what I mean? I'm telling you that drugs, when you get off drugs and you get off alcohol, life gets better. Yeah. You know, I'm proof because I did it, you know? So yeah, it sometimes does get very, very frustrating when when you're trying to preach the word of sobriety and you have the tools to talk to people about it. You know, you have the I have it. You know, I went through it all. You know, I went through the homelessness. I went through sleeping on a freaking couch. I went through waking up in county drunk. I woke up pissing myself. I did it all. Yeah. You know, so when I'm over here trying to tell people, you know, that sobriety's good, they don't want to listen. It's like,
Do you look at any point when the people that give that doubt or maybe they kind of like give you some pushback? Do you look at them and be like, man, I was like that at all?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Bro, come on. You can't force sobriety on nobody. Yeah. You cannot force sobriety on nobody. Sobriety has to come within yourself. You have to want it. You have to want the want. You can't I can't grab you by your hair and say, dude, you're going to get sober. Okay. It doesn't work that way. I could tell you, I could tell you everything that I went through. I could tell you what I went through. I could tell you everything that I'm going through.
Right.
You know, your job is to accept it and go on. You know what I mean? So yeah, you know.
That's solid. Yeah. I can imagine being that tough too, because it's probably like, you know, people are not trying to, they're like not looking in the long term. They're like thinking like day to day, minute, you know, especially when you're on some stuff, you're just going based off of like decisions or what a mood is right now, as opposed to like, you know, like I said, long term for some stuff. So I agree with that. And I'm like, I look at it too, like, man, that must be tough. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, that's just, the crazy thing too is like, that's just one aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Like so backgrounds and everything, you growing up and everything, I mean, fair to say it wasn't necessarily easy, right? No. Like outside the drugs and everything, just whether it be lifestyle, whether it being like, you know, a product of your environment and everything, it just wasn't an easy path, right? But
I grew up in a single household. You know, I grew up without a father. My mom worked. My mom worked nights. So therefore, my mom working nights. Yeah. You know, who's there to take care of me? Who's there to hang, you know? And then when you grow up with a mom, not a father, is the force in the house. Yeah. The father's the one that lays the rules down. The father is the forcer. You know, he's the one that says, hey, what are you doing? Well, I grew up without a father. So when mom yelled at me or mom tried to punish me, what do you think I did?
Pushback.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, went out the back door. You know, hey, you're not going to school today. You already missed next week. Oh, okay. Well, what are you going to do, mom? Yeah. You know, you're going to hit me. Okay. That's cool. Not gonna hurt, you know. Yeah. You're, you know, but
so that's the thing, right? So it's a different dynamic too, right? Like it's different. Like moms, they're like traditionally, it's like they're affectionate. They're gonna love, you know.
A father's love is tough love. I always
tough.
Think, you know
yeah, tough love, and the mother's love.
Mother's love
is
unconditional.
Unconditional, right? Like they're gonna love you either way.
Yeah.
But it's not in them necessarily to kind of teach you that way of that road to becoming a man, you know. So without that, you know, that a father dynamic, I could definitely see, you know, and it might be like a product. I'm learning this too now with my dad. Like he didn't have the best relationship with his dad, you know what I'm saying? And who's to say that his grandpa wasn't the same with his dad either? Like, you know, we don't know these type of things, especially when you start going like back in the day.
I think it has a lot to do with being Hispanic also, you know what I mean? Yeah. Being Mexican, you know,
I'm Mexican. Yeah.
Your parents are from Mexico, right? You know, I think because like, I just think it has a lot to do with the machismo-ness also, you know, affection. You know, I try to break down to my son all the time. I try to change everything. I try to tell my son I love him every day. Yeah. I try to tell my son have a good day at school. You know, I try to kiss my son on the forehead once a week or whatever. Yeah. I try to touch my son, you know, when we're in the car together. I try to, you know, I'm trying to show that affection that I never got, you know, but I also think it's a Mexican thing, you know what I mean? I don't know, it's just.
Does he ever get is he at an age where he's like, he's uncomfortable there? It gets a little,
he's 15.
So. And you're still just like, hey, come here, bro, come here. Yeah, had to, right?
Yeah. You know, when he's getting something, you know, I'll touch him. I want to touch my son. You know what I mean?
Reassurance.
Yeah,
right.
I just want to show him the love, the touch feeling. You know, I want to transfer my love to him. You know?
Yeah, I got that too with my son. I do all the extra stuff now. Like cause same, maybe I, you know, didn't have that necessarily, and so now I do like all the extra shit. Like like. Now, mind you, there's a big difference between 2.5 and 15.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can literally grab him and he's like, I'll force him to be like, you're coming, like, if I'm holding you extra, you know what I'm saying? Or if I'm bringing you to bed and everything and I want to have you there, it's a little different. You're 15. You know, 15 might give you some pushback and everything like that. But to speak about that too, about your son and that dynamic there too, because I know you put him on Instagram and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Does he like it? Like,
No.
Cause some kids don't get, you know, they get embarrassed from it.
No. My son does not like it at all.
He's like,
bro.
nah, I'm good. He's like, don't put me on.
Yeah, he's like, don't. He has an Instagram account. A lot of his friends follow me on Instagram.
But,
no, he doesn't like it. And I tell him, you want me to tag you? No. No.
He's like, I'm good. That don't embarrass me right now. Yeah. Everybody already sees it.
Yeah, he's not. He don't like it at all.
Yeah.
My son doesn't. You know, I'm like, son, you don't think it's cool that your dad has all these views and all these followers? No, come on. You don't think it's cool? I tell you, you don't think it's cool? You know that people recognize me when I go to freaking Stater Brothers or when I go places. People, hey, what's up? You're the guy that wears the jumpsuit. That's me.
And putting on fucking wigs and fucking the nails. And
I told my son, I told my son this. I told him, son, I go, son, if there is ever an issue, people start making fun of you about what your dad does on social media. You let me know, dude. I will get rid of social media in a heartbeat. I will do that for you. I told him. I've already told him that. You know, I told him I will get rid of social media. No, it's okay. People think you're funny. I said, okay, that's what it's for. It's
humorous, right?
Humor.
It's relief and everything,
it's
right?
humor. It's all about humor, man. It's just, you know, if I can make, and I do, and I've ran into people and people have talked to me and be like, dude, you know, I was having a bad day, and then all of a sudden your video popped up on my feed and you made me laugh, and I'm like, this is why I freaking do it. You know, this is why I do it. I ain't doing it because I low key want to wear a wig and nails. I do it because I get, for people who are wondering, you know, I get a ton of DMs about how it impacts them. You know, people are like, dude, I was having a bad day. You know, all of a sudden your video popped up and I seen it and you freaking made me laugh. And it just brightened me up. I'm like, okay, you know, hey, thank you very much. You know, I started doing push-ups and, you know, now I'm up to 20 a day. Before the doctor said this, that. Now I'm doing 20. And then my doctor checkup is good now because of your push-ups. Thank you very much. You know, those are the type of things, you know, that make me strive. It's the impact.
It's rewarding too, right? I'm sure, like, it's just like, man, like, I know it's something, you know, like, damn it, I'm doing all this funny shit and everything, but, you know, really the message behind it is like, is trying to preach the positivity.
Trying to preach the positivity and maybe get a sponsorship from somebody out there.
Hey, come on now. Y'all see it. Come on
Shoes, shirts,
come
something.
On now. It'll work.
Hollywood, pay me.
Oh, and you got some roles, right?
Yeah. I've did that for a while. I've did that, you know, because I'm inked up and everything. I've been on set a few times.
You know, my homie Slim, Mike, shout out Slim. He's the one that talks, because he's off, like, you know, fucking head and everything, you know. He tells me, like, he goes, yeah, you know, it's one of my dreams, bro, one of my goals. I'm like, what's up, man? I'm thinking he's gonna say mansion. I'm thinking he's gonna, you know what I mean, this fucking Bentley, whatever. He's like, man, I want to be like an extra, like the dudes in the back, just like an extra, just to post up. He's like, I don't want to do that, like all the acting or the crazy work, but just to post up in the back.
It's easy.
I'm like, bro, you can just fucking, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure music video, something, you know what I mean?
It's not hard. Yeah, it's not hard at all. I mean, it's I just did something like last week, and I turned down stuff, you know.
Really?
Because it's not. I mean, some of you guys think, you know, but sometimes these music videos want to pay like $25.
Oh yeah,
you know, and I'm like,
that's not even gas right now. Yeah, like,
and I'm like, it ain't about. It's not about the money, trust me. But don't insult me.
yeah, come on now, bro. Like that doesn't even feed a family.
But
right
it's
now.
not. It's out there. I tell people this all the time. The work is out there if you want it. As far as being in music videos, or as far as being, you know, if you have the look, you run with it. If you don't, you have it go. If you're all inked up and tatted up and everything, dude, I guarantee you, he can freaking do.
You might as well. I mean, shit, all that, the time, the energy, the money, all that stuff that goes in it, you might as well, you know, get something of it back.
Get some of it back, you know, get it. You know, I love, and people have hit me up. They're like, you don't want to, you know, because I've did jail sales scenes. I've been on, you know, I've been on Mayans. I've been on SWAT. I've been on a bunch of things. I'm always the bad guy, you know. I've been in jail sales, and they're like, you don't want to.
You can't get a good spot. Can it be a good man?
But I don't want to. I don't want to.
Oh, you don't want to do it?
No, I like doing that, bro. I like doing that. I like doing that. You know, that's where I like. I like it. Like your homie said, your friend, he wants to do it. It's fun. It's fun. You know.
Yeah, he said, to his defense, he said it, that he did say it.
Because I can put in. That's I could put into that. You know, you wanna have me run from the cops on set. I could do it because, you know, I've been there, you know what I mean? You're saying, you know, you want to put me in a jail cell, I could do that because that was me, you know, but if you want to put me in a doctor's suit, well, I don't think I could do that. You know, I've never been a doctor and I don't want to be a doctor, you know? I like being the inmate. Right. I like being the bad guy, you know what I mean? I don't have a problem with it, you know?
You're probably like, you know what? Yeah, this isn't for me. Put me back in the jumpsuit or something like that.
Put me in the jumpsuit so I could take the jumpsuit. I don't know if you've seen some of my skits. I wear a jumpsuit. I actually got that jumpsuit from set. So I was working on a...
Wait, do they know this or this?
They don't know. They don't know. I'm not going to say what it was doing, but I was on set. I was doing a documentary for on set, and then they told us, okay, go put on your jail suit. So I put on my jail inmate outfit, and then the wardrobe closed at 4, and we got off set at 7. So we're supposed to come back the next day.
Yeah.
So then we're like, hey, what's up with our jumpsuit? And she's like, oh, just leave it in the corner. And I'm like, yeah. I jumped in the car and drove home with it on.
Speeding down the road.
Yeah. So then after I came up on that jumpsuit that I always wear on my skits and stuff.
Yeah, man. Okay. I could definitely see that one too. I might do some shit next time. I might do some stuff too. But to talk about the kids. So, any daughters?
No
daughters.
I have 2 kids.
Just 2.
Do
you think it's a blessing or a curse?
I would love a little daughter.
Yeah.
I really would, man. I don't know what it is. I don't know because my boys, like, I think they see me and they see how I am. And, you know, I wake up in the morning, I'm like, you know, and so they kind of like, the love is there, of course. But I think a daughter's love, no matter what, I think something about it, I think a daughter would just run up to you and hug you any time of the day. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just me. That's from what I think.
I definitely want a daughter too. And the reason why I asked you is because the majority of my homies, they have daughters too. They have either boy, girl, you know. And one of my homies, his name is Anthony. He tells me, he goes, bro, it's different. Because he has 2, like a daughter and a son. He goes, man, it's different. I'm telling you. Like when you get that daughter, it's going to be different. I go, me just be like, I see how much the love that I have for my son. I'm like, bro, I can't. It's not going to be possible. I love them both the same. He goes, the thing he says all the time, he goes, wait till you have a daughter.
I believe that. I do. I really think the love. Okay, I think the love for a daughter would be, I think, different.
Maybe it's the way he said it that pissed me off. He just went, hey, wait till you have a daughter.
I believe that.
What does that mean? Like, you know?
I believe that too. I think you know, I love my boys. I love my kids. But I think when you a daughter would just would just turn you to a little baby.
Yeah.
You know?
A little softy, you know?
A little softy. More videos. I mean, yeah. So, like, my boys, like I said, like, if I get up in the morning, they'll kind of, like, they won't stay away from me, but they'll just, like, kind of, like, ignore me. Like, okay, Dad's getting up. I just think a little girl would just be like, oh, Dad. Regardless, get away from me. Oh, you know?
I mean, even people, you know, listening and watching to this, too, they might look at you and be like, damn, he's really cool. He's really chill. He's really laid back.
I get that all the time, dude. I get that all the time. Like, people... I don't know. They just intimidated. They see the tats. They see the head tats, you know. Sometimes if I don't wear a muscle shirt, I wear a muscle shirt, you know, and they're just like, and I'm like, dude, I'm the nicest guy. And then they get to know me.
Yeah.
They get to know me and they're like, dude, you're the nicest guy in the world. I'm like, yeah, dude, I am. I am.
Perception is everything, right? They judge a book by its cover and everything too. But damn, you like, you know what I mean? You can't blame them when you see it, if you're, especially if you're out there shirted and shit, fucking with center blocks, you know what I mean? Doing the jumping up and down and shit out there. I can see why they're just like, hey, you know what? Let's be careful around, you know, homie right here. So.
Yeah. I'm not. It's just an image.
Yeah.
It's just an image, like I tell people, you know.
Family man, Family man.
Oh, yeah. You know, I was at Knott's Berry Farm last night on the rides, on the kiddie rides, dude. Come on. Shoot.
Knott's Berry Farm. I've never been. I've never gone.
You got to go right now during the time. Knott's Berry Farm is the best.
Isn't it too cold, though?
It was beautiful. Really? I mean, Disneyland's beautiful, nice and everything. I just think Disneyland's overrated.
Yeah, I hear a lot of. I just went. We just went recently in September, and it was just like so fast paced and so hot too. And it was just like we spent $1,200-$1,300, and then the next thing you know, it's like we're done.
I went to Knott's yesterday. I spent $7. I bought a bag of popcorn for the kids. That was it. Because we had passes, but other than that, like I just bought popcorn.
Yeah, that's what's it's convenient for y'all right here, right? So it makes sense and everything. So with that, like I said, speaking about the intimidation factor, people you know might have been like look at you and being like, damn, like let me be standoffish and everything. Aside from like the you know, from like strangers or aside from you know fans that might come and be like, you know, they recognize you and everything. Do you all get like in, I would say, like any type of funk, like outside of that stuff? Oh, speaking about.
Yeah, from
just like from in general, like I don't know, you might have like a youngin. You might have someone that comes up.
You know
or
what?
some shit like that.
I have a lot. I was speaking about this today earlier. There's people that have never met me that don't like me. That, you know, so and so say they don't like me because of this. So and so say they don't like me because I'm Chicano and I'm doing this, and then I wear the wigs, or you know, I do the nails because I'm, you know, or you know, I'm doing burpee workouts that only should be done in prison, and you know, some people like you know, the homies. Some homies are like, you know, they do have a problem with it. Yeah. But nothing crazy, you know. Nothing like
you're you.
Yeah, it's me, you know. And I tell people this. I go, dude, you never know what I'm up to. Like, I was at a toy drive earlier. True. Now I'm here doing this. Yeah. You know, tomorrow at 8:00, I'm going to be at a basketball game with my son. Amazing. And then, you know, it's just, I'm always up to something, you know what I mean? For the good, you know, and I'm not, you know, and then I could go out tomorrow night to a bar. You can see me at a bar tomorrow. I don't drink.
Drinking water. Yeah.
Yeah. But I go to a bar, you know.
Maybe some pineapple juice.
Yeah.
You know?
I like, Virgin Hurricane. I don't know if you know what that is.
I mean, I never.
It's just basically pineapple juice with the mixed cherry. Kind of tastes like a cherry 7-Up.
Gotcha.
It's just a Virgin.
That's solid. Yeah.
I buy that sometimes when I go places, and I ask them to make it like the alcohol. Okay. Yeah. So it's called the Virgin Hurricane. And because I used to like drinking Hurricanes. Hurricanes were mixed drinks were good. I don't know if you know what those are.
I do, but it's like it just, you know, when you hear about some stuff, it brings up like a bad taste. You're just like
Virgin. I used to drink. I used to love Hurricanes, and so I asked, "Can I do a Virgin?" They're no problem. So they make me a Virgin when I walk around Dave and Buster's. And
my mom doesn't drink at all either, and she. It's funny because like I've taken her out to a few places. I've taken her wine tasting one time, right? And I gave her, you know, when you go wine tasting, I don't know if you've ever been or not, but they don't give you like cups or glasses, right? They give you like little 1 ounce testers and shit like that. You swirl it, you act like you know. Yeah, it's like a shot of wine. But like a lot of people, they'll swirl it in their mouth and spit it out, or do some shit, or you just like get a little swig. I always drink this shit. I was like, I'm not spitting it out. You know what I mean? So one time we took my mom for her birthday, and she, like I said, she never gone wine tasting. I was like, try this one, you know, try this one. She tries 2 of them. She's too deep. She's like, I can't do it anymore. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, I feel it. And I'm like, she goes, I feel it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And all of a sudden her face just starts turning red. She goes,
allergic reaction or what?
No, she just started like feeling warmth, you know, like, like she was just like, I feel it already. And I'm like, you had 2 ounces of wine. You don't like, you cannot feel it already, you know? But it's funny, like you said, because if we go like get a drinks or something like that, I'm like, I won't necessarily order a bunch of drinks around her because she still doesn't like the fact, you know, mom's always gonna be mom no matter what, right? So she doesn't like the fact that I be drinking and shit. But I'll try to get her to like trick her on some drinks. I'm like, get a Mike's Hard Lemonade. She's like, what's that? I was like, it's just like lemonade but stronger. You know, like they just put extra sugar or some shit like that. You know, I'll try to mess with her. But I'm gonna try that Virgin Hurricane thing you were talking about.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna try that one. I'm gonna tell her to try that one. Damn man, like this fucking the time on this thing is flying, and we only had this spot for so freaking long, man. I appreciate you so much just for even, you know, showing up and, you know, doing some technical stuff on the side on my end. But to close this out, man, if you can, just let the people know, like, even though, you know, we know what your messaging is and, you know, telling a bit of the story and everything, leave them with something that, like, it's a good page to end on.
If you're dealing with sobriety, if you're thinking about it, you know, thinking about, you know, wanting to go on down that journey, if you're thinking about, you know, I guarantee you, man, it's going to be the best decision anybody's ever made. You as a person going to be the best decision you ever made. You know, it's I'm living proof that being drug free, not drinking, you know, not waking up in jail cells, you know, things like that it's the best feeling in the world when you're sober. You know, sobriety is awesome. I tell people that all the time. You know, sobriety is awesome. It's the best feeling in the world. And I guarantee you, if you give it a chance, if you give sobriety a chance, you will love it. You will love it at the end of the journey, at the end of whatever it takes. It's not going to happen overnight.
Right.
You know, when you do decide to go sober, you do decide to lay off the drugs, you know, it's not going to be like, hey, tomorrow everything's going to come together. It's going to take its time. But when everything starts coming together, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. You know, and you know, it took me, I'd say, a good year for everything to start coming together. You know, for one whole year, I didn't do anything, bro. I switched my whole life around. You know, in about a year, everything just started kind of coming together, dude. Like, oh, okay. Well, what? I got a job here? Dang, they want to pay me this? I got to do this? Dang, okay. Dang, this. Oh, shoot. Oh, I have this much money in my bank account now because I'm not going out no more?
Yeah.
Dang, I got this? What the heck? All right. And, you know, that's how things started coming together. And then, you know, and it's beautiful. Just give sobriety a chance.
Amazing.
If you have any problems or anything, you know, reach out to me, you know, talk to me. My DMs are always open. My Instagram's always open. My TikTok's always open. Same as my Instagram at the Tough Gym.
And we'll tag everything right here too, so y'all can give them a follow and check everything out, man. The message I can hear that's being delivered, it's important. I feel like doesn't get highlighted enough. And it's different when you go to, I'm not discrediting them or anything like that, but it's different when you go to meetings and get pamphlets. It's different when you look on, you know, the TV and see commercials or ad spots and everything. It hits a little bit more different when you see a person like yourself who's living proof of what can be overcame from everything like that. And it's different when they can see, especially like I said, coming from like the Mexican side and Hispanic side, to see someone that we can look and relate to and be like, oh man, you're like, this is like one of us, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of voices in this space, and I appreciate you for coming on, being vulnerable, and also just being as open as you have been, man, from the jump. You know, a lot of credit to you. You've been solid, nice, really patient with me throughout this whole thing, with booking and everything.
Beautiful. It was fun. You know, another thing, you know, I if we could touch base real quick, I didn't when I got sober, I didn't go to AA. Now, I'm not discrediting AA. I didn't go to sober living. I didn't do any of that stuff. You know, first I wanted it. You know, I wanted to quit. I was tired, dude. You know, I was tired. I got plugged into my church. That's what I got plugged into. I got plugged into a beautiful church. You know, my kids go there. My wife went there. We all went there. So I got plugged into a church, and that's what really kept me inbound for the first 2-3 years, was getting involved in my church. And then therefore after, you know, I kind of like, okay, I think I'm strong enough to venture out on my own and start doing things. I didn't start going to, you know, bars or clubs right away. You know, it took me about a good 5 years before I started going out and doing things, you know what I mean? But, you know, whatever help you need, you know, it's there. Everything's out there. You know, if you want to go to AA, you know, I've been to AA. I have, and I still go to AA. If you want to go to sober living, if you want to, you know, do the different ways to stop, you know, ask help. You know, there's help out there, dude.
Yeah,
you know,
there's definitely out there.
There's always help out there, you know. But sober life is the best life, bro. My happy, crazy, sober life. Just give it a chance.
Amazing. Well, y'all, thank you again, man. Like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it throughout the whole thing. But thank you again for coming on. And I hope you guys, you know, get some knowledge and some confidence in this one too. Just don't be afraid to reach out if you get yourself in a bad spot, or if you feel like you're trapped or you don't have anywhere to turn to. There's definitely people here that you could turn to. And so thank you very much for tuning in, tapping in, y'all. Share, like, tell someone, tell your homie, tell your mommy, tell your homies, cousins, baby sisters, baby mamas, pets, fucking whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? But y'all stay safe. Peace.
Santana.
Yay.
Hasta la muerte. Sasa.